Episode number 222, How to Get the Most Out of MediaShout with Aaron West, Part 2. Let's do it.
This is the definitive podcast for helping you plan, create, and execute dynamic worship experiences at your church. Useful, practical content in the areas of production, worship, communications, first impressions, and more. This is Making Sunday Happen.
Well, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This week's episode of the show is brought to you by the brand new MediaShout 7, and we are continuing our conversation with the legend himself, Aaron West, who is the Director of Customer Experience at MediaShout, which means he is the guy to talk to when it comes to the user experience of the software. He's a writer and coder of the software, developer of the software. He's played a major role in the development of MediaShout 7. So he's going to continue to walk through the new features of the software and how it will make your life much, much easier. We'll also talk through people making the jump from 6 to 7. So that's on the way too. We also tackle the most popular user questions, and he's going to give some sneak peeks as to what is to come in further updates of the software. So we'll wrap my interview with Aaron up today. I wanted to let you know that there is still time to get your custom media projects into our team for turnaround for your Christmas worship experiences. We've had to beef up our team to handle the Christmas load this year, and in the last couple of years. Our team is growing very quickly, and we're thankful for it. But just wanted to let you know that we have beefed up our team in order to handle additional Christmas projects for you. So we're ready for you. What we want you to do is go to 1230.media/quote, 1230.media/quote, and we can do custom Christmas sermon bumpers, trailers, promo videos, lyric media. A lot of people at Christmas and Easter do lyric media, lyric videos to air at your Christmas Eve service or something like that. Anything that you need for your screen, big and small, we would love to come alongside you and help you with that. What I want you to do is go to that website, 1230.media/quote, and put in the code Christmas10, Christmas10 in the description box when submitting your project, submitting your quote there, and we're going to give you 10% off your first custom media project or your next custom media project with us. So Christmas10 for 10% off your next custom media project with us. That's just for being a faithful listener to the podcast. We just want to bless you this Christmas. So Christmas10 at 1230.media/quote for 10% off your next custom media project. All right, let's jump right back into my chat with Aaron West from MediaShout right after a quick word about the new MediaShout 7 and some of the new features that it provides. Check this out.
They are both building slides for church. Ryan's stuck on PowerPoint, but Mike's using the all-new MediaShout 7. With 70 Bibles, pre-built lyric slides, sermon builder, presenter view, and flexible editing, MediaShout is clearly the winner for church presentations. It's easy and it's fast. Mike finished with MediaShout in 3 minutes, and Ryan is still working on his PowerPoint. So don't waste any more time. Start your free MediaShout trial today.
Okay, let's say I'm in MediaShout 6. I'm thinking about moving to 7, but here's my reservation. I want you to work out the kinks of 7 first. I'm going to give you a few months to work those out before I jump onto 7. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it's very interesting because I actually heard a speaker one time, a fellow by the name of John Acuff. I'm sure you know John.
Yeah.
John always talked about, it's very difficult to compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end. And so this has been a true statement for software, whether it's MediaShout, ProPresenter, Easy Worship, whatever it may be. The first iteration of a new product is always going to have things that have to be worked out. There's going to be some things that are better. There's going to be some things that you may not like as much as the previous version. But what we try to do is we try to look at the comparison of where version 7 is, say, 4 months after release to where version 6 was 4 months after release to where version 5 was 4 months after release. What I can tell you, as not just being biased because I'm so proud of version 7, but I can tell you from a true comparison standpoint that version 7 is way ahead of where version 6 and version 5 was before at the 4-month mark. Now, what's great about that is you see where version 5 ended up. You see where version 6 ended up. And we have a lot of users who love version 5. We have a lot of users who love version 6 and where they ended up. Same holds true even going back as far as version 4 and version 3. But what that does is that gives us a lot of hope and insight for where version 7 is heading. And we're already ahead of where those were at those times. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that we still have planned with version 7 that's not out yet. There's a lot of features that we plan to implement, or even some secrets of stuff that we're not sharing fully yet, but have come from conversations we've had with users on what would you like to see? What are the most important things for you that make you successful and cause the least amount of distraction so that it enhances and engages what you're doing in your worship service.
Well, one thing I'm really proud of you guys for is you really do talk to people and build relationships with users. And I mean, I know that you reached out to me personally months before you guys released 7, and we kind of walked through some of the features and stuff like that. So I know that you are so involved in talking to the pastors and users and people that are actually on the ground using the stuff to say, okay, what should we add? What is it? What is working here? What is not? So I think that's fantastic. So I agree with you. I think the leap to 7 is a pretty easy leap, especially with some of the new features. All right, so give me some tips and tricks. We talked through some, but give me some tips and tricks on using MediaShout 7. And I'll tee you up here, but go ahead and get us started.
Fair enough. So a couple of things that I would say right off the bat. One is we have built in a ton of keyboard shortcuts where you don't have to use your mouse near as much as you did in previous versions. And we did that purposely so to save you time, to make it faster. My encouragement to you as a builder of the tools, an editor, or even a volunteer who's just running the presentation, learn those keystrokes that are most important to you. That will make what you do faster, make what you do easier, and things like that. That would be my first tip is pick up on those and learn from those. We actually have those listed on our website. So if you want to go there and look at those, and we're constantly updating as we add new keyboard shortcuts. I will tell you, we have a list of about 250 different keyboard shortcuts that are planned to be implemented in MediaShout 7 already, and about 2/3 of those are already in the program. And so just a lot of stuff there to make it faster and easier for you guys as users and things like that.
What's a couple of your favorite?
There's a lot that deal with editing of images or things like that. And for me, I always struggled with the whole thing of trying to get images lined up just right or getting them the right size and things like that. You know, I could go up into the X or Y box and type in a resolution of what I want the image to be, or width, the height, whatever it may be, and where I want it on the screen. But if I've inserted the object, I can hold down Shift and my arrow and tap my arrows and resize the object very quickly. If I hold down Alt, I can rotate the object very quickly without having to go and up to the ribbon, switch the mode that I'm in, and then try to grab the corners and things like that. It's just much faster, much easier to really make my editing do what I need to do using those keyboard shortcuts. So those are some of my favorites. We have other users who prefer different things for turning monitors on and off. Say, for instance, they want to show a web page on their main display, say the church website or whatever. MediaShout 7 has an very easy tool where you simply press F2 and you turn the main display off. And if you've got your web page pulled up right there, you can show your web page right there. And then MediaShout's still running without any issues. Press F2 again, and now MediaShout's back on top of your web page, and you're going on with your presentation and things like that. So things like that, we have users who really like those tools to be able to use it for those standpoint, from that standpoint, things like that. So there's a couple of my favorite with the keyboard shortcuts.
Tell me about Starter Pack.
So Starter Pack is a new thing that we have done. I'm going to give Brandon Hadley, he's our marketing director and VP, a big chunk of credit for this one. Along with his team, they came up with this idea. But basically, they wanted to create a new experience for users. And so what Starter Pack is it's much more than just a video training or media or things like that. It's a box that really is a welcome to MediaShout type of experience. It's one of those where you're excited to open the box up and see what all's inside. Inside there is a USB drive with some training videos and about 8 gigs worth of media as part of that, which I believe we have some media from 1230 that you guys have helped us with on that.
Yeah.
There is also a keyboard shortcut card as well, along with a card that you can put notes on. Great for leaving right at the computer for your volunteers, leaving it right there for your team to be able to see and have those easily accessible and quickly there. So those have our most popular keyboard shortcuts on them. It also has a letter in there from our CEO and a prayer from our team. For you guys. It also has some stickers and stuff like that, some nice swag stuff. There's a great little flashlight for AV. We all know that we have to crawl under the tables at times, and having a flashlight easily accessible is always good. So it has that in there. But it also just has some encouraging information from us to let you know that we're here for you. It's much more than just here's a product. It really is we're here to support you in your ministry and what you're doing, and to let you know that we're praying for you. I mean, that's one of the things that our team does regularly is pray for pastors and tech leaders and volunteers as they serve each Sunday. And it's just kind of one of those encouraging tools for that purpose.
You talked about the Q's library a little bit, but is there a plugin that goes with that? Tell me about how that works.
Yeah, so Q's Library is actually one of our new plugins with that. It's actually a great point to kind of clarify. One of the things with version 7 is we have a whole new series of plugins that we've designed, which include the Q's Library, which include scenarios, which include the sermon builder. Plugins are really kind of standalone. The way we've designed the program is we've been able to build a core program, and then we can add these plugins that have their own really tools inside of them. So they're kind of standalone pieces that can be added to MediaShout as needed and things like that. So as we add additional features such as MIDI and DMX control that are planned to come up soon, Planning Center integrations, some of the things with Elvanto and worshipplanning.com and some of those kind of things that we've got planned, those will all be plugins that we have. And so a user can choose to decide whether they want to install that plugin, if it's important for them or not. It allows them to really create the core of the product that makes the most sense for them, allows them to customize their MediaShout for their own needs and not feel like they have this massive bulky program that has all of these features that they don't use. And that really kind of comes from conversations we've had with users where, we'd find out most users only use about 30 to 40% of the program. Now, they all use a different 30 to 40%. So we all have to know all the pieces. Right. But, it was funny because we'd have over 50% of the program would never be used by the user. And we said, well, how do we simplify that for the user? What are the core pieces that all of them use? And so we took that and created the core of what MediaShout 7 is. And then we started creating these plugins and these plugin packs that add these additional features that some users use, some users don't, but allow the users to really start to customize their version of MediaShout 7 for their needs.
Do you have any thing that you can share with us? Any new plugins or things coming that you can drop? Come on, Aaron, let's go. Come on, man. Give me some.
We have some we have some really good ideas on the table. Like I shared, MIDI and DMX are a couple. We're working with boy, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. We're working with Boxcast on some integrations with Boxcast to be able to control your stream right from within MediaShout. So you don't even have to go to the Boxcast login to do it. You can actually do it through API with Boxcast. Our Planning Center online integration is going to be deeper than anybody else has got with Planning Center. That's our goal behind that. So that Planning Center integration is coming very, very soon. That one is right on the forefront with stuff. And so you're going to see a lot more than what you've been able to do with Planning Center and any other software in terms of the integration and that kind of stuff. We do have some plans for possibly some web captioner integrations. I don't know if you've ever seen webcaptioner.com, but we've been working with them on some ideas. We've been working with some different media companies on some integrations directly into media. So if you have an account with like 1230 Media, for example, be able to integrate your 1230 Media account right inside of MediaShout and access your stuff without having to go to your website. It's all built right inside of MediaShout and can access that through a kind of a web portal within this plugin. and get to your media files and download those right to your computer very quickly and very easily, and be able to use those as you need. So those are some of the things that we're working on. Our goal is really a big time with version 7 is really these integrations with these other companies. We've learned over the years that there are certain things MediaShout does really well, and there's certain things that we don't really feel like we need to step into because it's not our wheelhouse. Yeah. But it still affects the church and the church volunteers and the church tech teams. And so we're going, how do we build relationships? So our focus really the last couple of years, and really my focus, has been building relationships with these other companies who serve the church, like you guys, like Boxcast, like worshipplanning.com and Planning Center Online and Elvanto and all these guys, and go, how can we work together to serve the church even better? And so that's really kind of where this is really kind of birthed out of. So MediaShout 7 is going to end up being a lot of integration tools with other products to make things faster, simpler, easier for the users, and not just be, okay, I've got 17 different products I have to manage. Let's work together to make it easier.
Love it. Okay, I'm a MediaShout user. I still have questions. Give me some places that I can go to find community, to ask my questions, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. So obviously our website has a ton of great information on our knowledge base. We have email support Monday through Friday for our standard users. We also have live chat Monday through Friday as well. So if you want to get on and chat with us, if you're a new MediaShout user, whether you're using the trial or purchased in the last 30 days, you actually have phone support available as well to ask your questions within the first 30 days of your purchase to help with that. If you want to get plugged in with Facebook and social media, we have an awesome MediaShout page that has information. We actually post some free media every Friday from some of our free media partners and things like that to get out. But we also have great blog posts, a lot of them from things like 1230 Media that we share that we think are important. So there's a great community there. We also have a MediaShout Facebook users group. It's actually run by users. We don't manage that. We don't run that or any of that kind of stuff. But it's an awesome group of users who love to share ideas, love to help each other out, and serve together, give each other ideas and tips and tricks and things like that. So it's an awesome way to get plugged in. We also have our MediaShout Plus, which is kind of it's a subscription piece, but it adds a whole level of free media each month. With it, it adds a number of webinars that we do for training purposes. It gives our users direct phone access to our customer support team. It actually gives them a live chat option on Sunday morning as well. So we actually have people available, our team, myself included, available on Sunday mornings from 8 to 10 Central Time, 9 to 11 Eastern Time, just to be there and support churches. If they run anything Sunday morning, we want to make sure that they've got help that can help them through whatever it may be. And I'll tell you, many times, I've been on the chat a number of times, I would say about half of those conversations actually have nothing to do with MediaShout. They're just technical issues, and they just need to have someone that they can chat with and go, hey, can you help me just think through what may be going on here? And we're happy to serve in that way and help. Even though it's not a MediaShout issue, we're happy to help the churches walk through, okay, let's troubleshoot this together and see if we can figure out what's going on for you.
Man, that's an amazing service. I want people to catch that. So this is an ongoing thing. You're available every Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's part of our MediaShout Plus subscription model.
Excellent. What else is included in the Plus?
Yeah. So again, you have direct phone access to our team Monday through Friday as well. You have a specialized chat session for that gives you priority. You also have email priority support as part of that. You also have free media that comes each month. That's actually provided by our friends over at Worship House Media. As part of what they do, they provide a monthly media pack of some great media with that. We also have some training webinars and some special webinars that we do specifically to those Plus members. We also have some special stuff where we'll reveal some stuff to Plus members before we will to public. So it's kind of this inside group kind of thing where you get to hear about stuff before anyone else does, and that kind of stuff, and just some additional discounts that we have available for our Plus members and things like that. So we've heard from users who have taken advantage of it, and they'll tell us that it's pretty much paid for in the first month that they have it, and so it's a win for them.
So I can call you anytime. We don't have to talk about MediaShout. I can talk to you about those awesome glasses or other sort of things.
That's right. And that's the thing that I love about what we do. I've had plenty of conversations with pastors and volunteers over the years where the first maybe 15 minutes with MediaShout and the other 45 minutes or so was what's going on with life.
Yeah.
And our team is a bunch of encouragers. We love to encourage. We love to build up. All of our team serves at our churches as well, our local churches. So we know what it's like to be on those forefront and be in that role that you're in. And so we understand the challenges that you face. We understand the difficulties, and we want to make sure we're encouraging even through difficult times. We want to be there beside you guys and help.
Yeah, I know I joke about it, but I mean, that piece alone is so important, just to have somebody else that is in the world that you're in, can help you troubleshoot stuff, can help you think through stuff, can maybe vent a little bit to someone who's not on staff or not even a part of your church space. I mean, that stuff is so important. So tell me, for those who are looking, and I don't want to sales pitch too much here, but tell me, if I'm looking for a presentation software, how do I find you guys, and tell me some tips on how I can pick MediaShout up?
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing is just visit MediaShout.com. Our website has a ton of information on that. You can download a free trial. It's a 30-day trial, fully functioning trial. Has everything in there, including some of the trial Bibles. We include 5 Bibles with that trial, so you can actually get a taste for using that fully functioning program with that. And the great thing is, if you decide to activate the software by buying a license, everything you've built already carries right over into it. You're just basically turning on that software when you activate and that kind of stuff. It's not a new install or anything like that. So it's the same product, the same piece you've done. So we make it as easy as we can to go from being a trial user to activating it. Again, our Facebook group's a great place to jump in and ask questions. You don't have to be a MediaShout user to be in the MediaShout Facebook users group. You can jump in there and ask questions, and there's a lot of people who use MediaShout and other stuff, or who may have used MediaShout after coming from another product. And so they can give you great insight on what they used before. Our team as well. You'll find on our team that, like I said earlier, I'm a ProPresenter and Easy Worship and MediaShout user. I was actually a beta tester for Proclaim back when it came out back in the day. Brandon Hadley, our VP and Sales and Marketing Director, is a former Easy Worship user. David May, who oversees our Worship Band in Hand and our MediaShout Mac stuff on that side, is also a former ProPresenter user. So we've got these people on our team who have used these products and can help you walk through what are the differences, what are the challenges you're going to face. And we'll be honest with you, there's going to be times where we may say, you know what, MediaShout's not the right product for you, and that's okay. We want to make sure you've got the right tool for your ministry. There are many times where we'll say, you know what, MediaShout's going to be able to do better for you for what you're needing than somebody else will. And so it's kind of funny because we have a great relationship with the guys over at ProPresenter. We have a great relationship with the guys over at Easy Worship. It's so funny because people think of us as quote unquote competitors, but really all of our hearts are to go, what is the right tool for ministry for this church? And that's what we all want to strive to and help them get to, and that kind of stuff. So.
Awesome. Well, as I leave you today, give me like a couple of more tips and tricks, or maybe pieces of the software that either not a lot of people use, or I'm looking for the hacks. Give me the last. Leave me with some hacks, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would start first off with exploring that presenter view. A lot of people don't realize that tool is there for users or for volunteers and that kind of stuff. Don't feel like you have to set a volunteer down in the edit mode and them feel like I don't know what I'm doing and I'm afraid to touch anything, or I might click on something and move something. Explore that presenter view. That's going to be my first major thing. Second thing is I'll talk to you is about using scenarios. Make sure you automate as much as you can. If there's things that you can set up as a loop, or you can set it to advance at a certain time or whatever, or just wait for so long, utilize those tools. Make things as simple as you possibly can for yourself. Remove that human error possibility out of it. Third thing is I would say that sermon builder piece. Introduce your pastors to that. You would be surprised. I know it's such a hard thing for pastors to go, I don't have time to learn something new. I promise you, ask them to give you 15 minutes and just show them sermon builder. And once you do that, I think they'll be shocked at how easy it is. And that's going to make it easier for you as a MediaShout operator, because now you're not having to deal with a PowerPoint import or having to convert stuff or anything like that, or losing editing functions and that kind of stuff when you bring a PowerPoint in. You have a native MediaShout presentation from that sermon builder. The last thing I would probably say is don't ever hesitate to search out for answers. If there's something that you want to try to do and you're not sure how to do it, feel free to contact our team. Get on chat with us, email us, call us, get in touch with us, because we want to say, hey, let's walk through this together. Let's see if we can figure out something together. The one thing that our team hates the most is when we have a user who has been trying to do something for 3 or 4 hours and has finally gotten frustrated and then contacts us because they've kind of reached that point of frustration. We go, listen, if you'd have called us 3 hours ago, we could have walked you through this in 15 minutes. So that's what we're there for. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. That's why we're there, and that's why we're there to serve, is so that we can help you guys walk through those things. So if you find yourself in a position going, I'm not sure how to do this, don't get yourself going over and over again till you get frustrated. Go ahead and reach out to us. Ask us those questions, and we're happy to help in any way that we can.
Good. Well, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your heart. And, man, thank you so much for all that you guys do.
Carl, always a pleasure. We love serving with you guys as well. Thank you for your service to the church and what you guys do as well.
The show notes for this episode are available now at makingsundayhappen.com.
In the mailbag this week, as I did last week, we're going to look at some commonly asked questions about MediaShout, especially the new MediaShout 7. And then we're going to play you a video directly from the MediaShout team with an answer so that you can hear it straight from their support staff. Okay? All right, so here we go. Question number 1. We talked a little with Aaron about presenter view, but lots of folks asking about that feature. It gives a full view of all your available slides there in the software. Here's a little bit more from the MediaShout team about presenter view. Check this out.
In addition to the powerful editor at the center of its control screen, MediaShout 7 gives users the flexibility to flip to a live presenter view in this area as well. This gives a full view of all the slides that are available to present. Plus, you can even choose all the way from a text-based list view to a view with thumbnails at any size you prefer. Plus, you can even zoom to make the thumbnails as large or small as you prefer. This is very helpful for volunteers running the program. Whether the presentation is in perfect order or the operator will need to skip around, they can feel fully confident in navigating quickly on MediaShout 7.
All right, question number 2, a new feature in MediaShout 7 that really customizes the experience just for you is the use of plugins. Now, some users have asked about where these are and how to use them, so here's a little bit more on that.
A powerful new capability of MediaShout 7 is utilizing plugins. Plugins are parts of the program used for specific features that can easily be swapped out. On MediaShout 7's control screen, you'll find the Plugins column, where you can load the plugins you want to make part of your workflow and remove the ones you don't. Some examples of plugins will be transitions, the cues library, and key objects with a clock, timer, text scrolling, and more. The great news is, plugins will continually be added based on your needs. You'll even be able to install them without having to do a full update on your program.
Question number 3, a specific plugin that can be really beneficial to you as you use the new MediaShout 7 is the Cues Library plugin. Here's more on that.
With MediaShout 7, I can save any cue that I would like to use again into the Cues Library plugin and bring it in quickly and easily to any script. I'll just click to save the cue. Then, I'll go to the Cues plugin where I can search for any type of cue. Once I've found it, I simply press Insert and it's in my script. Whether it's a song, Bible cue, sermon notes, or a set of announcement slides, it's easy to keep in my database to use again as needed and without the work of rebuilding or reformatting it each time.
Okay, the last question that we're going to address this week is the use of key objects in MediaShout 7. Now, these are items that you can toggle on and off in the moment. Okay, so here's a little bit more about key objects in MediaShout 7.
Another element we can take a look at is called the key objects. These are managed in a plugin on the right side of MediaShout 7. Key objects are items you can toggle on and off the screens on the fly. They overlay any other content that is being displayed. Some examples would be a clock, timer, news ribbon, quick message, or logo. Whether you'd like to quickly enter a number for a parent to see their child needs attention in kids' church, have a message scroll across the bottom of the screen during announcements, or simply show a clock for the worship team on the stage display, MediaShout 7 offers brand new ways to display these items and with amazing flexibility. In this case, I'm going to show you how to insert a countdown clock that will count down from 1 hour and 15 minutes from when the service starts, just for the stage display. To do that, I'll start by toggling to my stage display side. I can create separate key objects just for the main side. Then I'll go to the Keys plugin on the right side of MediaShout 7. I'll go to the timer and click the plus icon to create one. I'll make sure it's set to countdown and then enter 1 hour and 15 minutes using the fields on the screen. Once I have created it, I will check the box to enable it. This is the part we'd want to have done before service to allow us to later toggle it on and off on the fly from the control screen. I will close out of the Key Objects plugin window, then on my control screen, look to the Key Objects tab. Now the timer object I created is in the list. Since I created the timer while toggled on the stage display, I'll need to be toggled onto the stage display to see it now. If I wanted an item on the main display instead, I just flip back to my main display and create the key object on that side. Now I have my timer showing on the stage display just like I want. If the I button shows lit up, it means the item is fired to my screens. When the I shows grayed out and with a line through it, I know that item is not currently fired to my screens. This is how I can show or hide my timer. And when I'm ready to start it, I will just come to the Key Objects tab while on the stage display and press the play button. I can also pause it at any time or use the refresh button to start it over. With the timer showing on my editor, I can adjust the size and formatting of it just like I can do with regular text. So I'll take a second to position it in the top right corner of my screen, which will be the best place for the worship team in this case.
If you are a MediaShout user, I'm so glad that you've jumped in this week and last week. I hope that both episodes, last week's and this week's episode, has really helped you learn a little bit more about the software and the new features of MediaShout 7. So if you're thinking, I need to make the jump from 6 to 7, I hope that you've really learned a lot and you can honestly have confidence in making that shift if you're thinking about it. So I would definitely encourage you, go ahead and make the shift. Go and make the move from MediaShout 6 to MediaShout 7. It's going to be worth it for you. There's a lot of new features in the new software. They've worked out all the kinks, and they're still working on updates as the weeks and months go on. So MediaShout 7 is where you need to go if you are a MediaShout user. So I recommend 3 presentation software overall. 1 is ProPresenter, 2 is MediaShout, 3 is Easy Worship. So I want you to be trained in all 3 of those or have the training available to you no matter which presentation software you use at your church. Whether that is ProPresenter, which we've done episodes on, whether that is MediaShout, which is last week and this week. We've really dove into MediaShout and MediaShout 7. And then we'll do some episodes on Easy Worship as well. So I want you to be fully trained and have resources available to you no matter which presentation software you use. Again, I recommend those 3, ProPresenter, MediaShout, Easy Worship. Okay, there is no better guy to talk about MediaShout than Aaron West. So I want to thank him for joining me last week and this week on the podcast. Great friend, great guy. Get to know him. That is one thing that he mentioned that I want to mention again is feel free to reach out to their team. They love you. They are behind you. They are for you. So if you're a MediaShout user, do not hesitate to reach out to the guys at MediaShout. We've gotten to know them over the last couple of years. Fantastic team over there. So be sure to reach out to them. All right, MakingSundayHappen.com is our podcast URL. All of our archive episodes are there, over 220 episodes of the show. as of this point. So thank you so much for being on the journey. If you are new to the podcast, we have lots and lots of shows in the archive. So again, there's over 200 shows that you can go back and listen to and watch. So about 20 shows ago, we went to all video. So you can catch the podcast on audio for about 200 episodes worth. And then starting with 201, we went all video. We changed our name in there from the Church Media Podcast to Making Sunday Happen, so you'll kind of see that move as we go. But we are moving and grooving. We're not stopping. We are changing and adapting as we go. But Making Sunday Happen, the point of all of it is anyone that plans, creates, executes a worship experience, if you touch the worship experience in any way, shape, or form, we want to talk to you. We want to help you. We want to be your guide. We want to come along inside you because we know that you're just trying to survive for next Sunday and week after week. So we want to help you do that. We want to help you make Sunday happen. Well, I love you guys. If no one else recognizes what you do, I do. I know I've been there. I've been a media director at churches. I've led teams. I've been in live production and also the content side. I've been where you are, and I know how hard you work. And I know sometimes the only time when people see you is when something goes wrong in a service. So I want to thank you for what you do. I believe in you. If you need anything at all, even just to rant or to vent or to have a shoulder or just someone to talk to, reach out to us. 910-849-1230 is our number. 910-849-1230. You can call us anytime at all. All right. Thank you guys for listening and watching the podcast. We hope it's beneficial to you and helps you. And we're just trying to be a guide. We don't know all the answers. We're on the journey with you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Go out there and create some incredible worship experiences this weekend. I'll catch you next week.
Making Sunday Happen is a production of the ministry of 1230 Media. For show notes, archive episodes, and more free resources for your church, visit MakingSundayHappen.com.